That's right, I built a living thing. Welcome back to another video on Gearsaw Studios. And today we're going to be building the wonderful Despicable Bob, a creature that has been given life and is an awesome combination of Spongebob and a minion. Even better, he can scream. Just to listen to his voice. This guy is probably the best thing I've ever made. So without further ado, let's investigate how we'd build a replica of him. Everyone can do it, it is very easy, and I decree that he must be in every Minecraft world from this point outward. Starting off, we need to find an area that we are okay with being tainted by his presence. As everyone knows, the Despicable Bob is despicable and kind of just ruins the area. So, step 1. We place down some black concrete. These are his shoes. 2. Remove any animals from the area, they're just kind of annoying. Then, we place down some socks, like this. And then, yellow, because that's his skin color. And then, we start by just doing a little bit of this with the brown concrete. Of course, these are his pant legs. The Despicable Bob is not hard to construct. In fact, yeah, he's really easy to make, so that way you can ruin all of your worlds by building him in about 5 minutes. With his legs now complete, we can start working on his lower body. And it's not terribly complicated. So first off, we want to go 2 blocks in front and 2 blocks behind this pant leg. And well, that's pretty easy. Nothing terribly complicated. And then we go up and make sure each side is 5 blocks. We have a 5 block thing. So pretty much build 7 by 7, cut off the corners. And then, well, we go up another layer, 5 by 5 again. Decently easy, except, well, the corners are a bit more circular. And, well, overall, this is not actually very hard to build. And now, with this done, then we just raise it up by 1. Pretty easy. Next up, we need to do the rest of his body, which is also decently simple. We raise this up by 2 blocks. Then, on the center, a necktie. It can be pretty much any red block. I might change it to red concrete later since the rest of the build is so vibrant. Then, some black concrete like this, and then we scatter this around. Very simple stuff. And you can see, well, it's a combination of Bob from Despicable Me and Spongebob, which is from, I think, the Patrick Star Show. Anyways, well, we start building more of this layer. And, well, nothing super complex to talk about here. And then, well, we have his body. Above this, we can start building his sleeves and then his arms as a result. This is also very easy. You can see it's perfectly symmetrical, so it will be very easy to, well, replicate. You build one side, and then you'll have no issues. With his arms in place, you can see very simple sleeves, and his hands reach down to his knees. Very typical anatomy. What we need to do from here is just raise everything up by a few blocks. So like this. Also, here's his mouth, which is 1 block above his tie, and then a 3 block long nose, because Despicable Bob is simply amazing and has a giant nose. And then from here, we need to get something such as light gray concrete, something for his goggles. So we do something like this. And remember, Despicable Bob, being a minion, always wears goggles. Keep that in mind. And then with this lens here, behind it, we just place his eye. And of course, because he's part SpongeBob, there's one acceptable block, which is light blue concrete. In order to give him a pupil, give him a blackstone button. So now, his stare is here. It's amazing, isn't it? You want to build this. Everybody loves Despicable Bob. Now, with his eye in place, we just have to do the little band that goes around him. You can see he's quite flat from the back, but so is SpongeBob, so to be expected. And I also gave him eyelashes. As you can see, they're quite marvelous. And they also replaced some of his skin for some of that extra authenticity. Because, everyone's favorite show, Despicable Bob, not to be confused with, he's actually the original show. He can't be confused with anything. Well, he has giant eyelashes. And then, for the top of his head, it's just plain flat. So now, we have a very simple Despicable Bob. As you can see, he is looking fabulous. He is amazing. And I strongly recommend, if not outright force you to build this. However, it's not done yet, because you can see that nice vacant stare into the oblivion. Not enough. We have to give him stuff like a heartbeat. Can you hear it? He's alive now. As you can see, I have given the blessing of life to Despicable Bob in order to make him a more lively creature. He's only a statue, but trust me, he lives on. Well, I've given him a pulse. And how I've done this is on the inside, you can see I have 2 note blocks. One of them is set to 3 ticks, and the other one is 1 tick. So essentially, go up to 1, right click it 3 times, and another one once. And then I have these redstone repeaters. You can pause to look at their exact delays in order to emulate a heartbeat. As you can see, it's quite effective, more so than a conduit. And then also make sure to light him up. We don't need extra things in here, because everybody knows this creature is amazing. He does not need extra things inside to his system. And then in order to give him the power of communication, I have given him the power to speak. So first, we need to do a little bit of securing, and then we place down some calibrated skulk sensors. It's a terrible noise, isn't it? So quickly waterlog the skulk sensors, make sure they're calibrated for the extra range, and you can hear his heart rate. But if you approach him, well, you don't wanna. He screams when you approach him. So now the sanctity of your Despicable Bob is now in place. He is an amazing creature. He breathes, he speaks, he has a pulse, and he has that amazing stare. I mean, look at how lovable he is. I demand that you build him immediately. Anyways, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, which of course you did, you cannot dislike Despicable Bob. Well, you can always leave a like if you want to see more content. Well, you're probably not going to see Despicable Bob too often, but you can see some more actual content. Like whatever I do usually. So either way, enjoy the rest of your day, and Despicable Bob, Gearsaw out.